like a friend, pulling up a seat to listen to the things I won't defend. My voice grates through the quiet like a wheel on dirt too dry, and the blues lifts up his lantern just to help me clarify. The bartender leans in slowly, like he knows the script by heart, watching shadows trace my outline where my fears begin to start. If forgiveness walks in darkness where old wounds refuse to mend, it'll find me talking softly to the night that calls me friend. The night sat down beside me like a friend I never earned. Every silence felt familiar, every candle slightly burned. If tomorrow comes to judge me for the truths I won't pretend, let it read the quiet solace that the night lends as a friend. The slide guitar sighs gently like it's leaning on my side, drawing shapes of ancient heartache through the wounds I try to hide. The bass rolls low and steady like a man with time to spare, and the drums tap soft reminders of the things I can't repair. Her memory pours like honey on a heart that's turned to dust, and I taste the old reflection of the things I couldn't trust. If the dawn shines on the places where my shadows blend and bend, it'll find the night still sitting, holding steady like a friend. The night sat down beside me like a friend who knows the cost. Every sigh a gentle witness to the battles I have lost. If redemption meets me somewhere where my broken thoughts ascend, let it honor what the night gave when it sat down as a friend. A friend, and I leaned in, let the morning wake me lighter than the weight I've carried in. If salvation finds me honest as my weary soul laments, let it thank the quiet darkness for sitting as my friend. my breath, like it's been waiting there for years, dragging honesty through gravel, past the drought behind my fears. My voice cracks through the darkness like a match on weathered stone, and the blues keeps me from falling when I stumble feeling alone. The bartender nods slowly like he's heard this tale before, seeing guilt drip down my fingers, spilling quiet on the floor. If forgiveness hears the gravel in the words I've held to death, it'll taste the truth that rises when the whiskey fills my breath. Whiskey pulls the truth out of my breath, rough and burning on its way. Every swallow makes me honest in a way I can't convey. If tomorrow finds me clearer than the lies I once caressed, let it hear the truths uncovered when the whiskey stirs my breath. The slide guitar cuts softly like a confession on the run, tracing faults I keep in shadows when the day's too bright with sun. The bass rolls thick and heavy like regret inside the veins, while the drum beat marks the timing of the damage I retain. Her memory sits quiet in the back room of my chest, leaning gentle on the wounds I never learned to half address. If the dawn shine light on secrets that I drank to acquiesce, it'll hear my name reshape inside the truth I won't repress. Whiskey pulls the truth out of my breath, hollow, honest, raw and real. Every drag across my conscience forces wounds I meant to heal. If redemption listens closely through the ache the night bequeaths, it'll catch the man beneath the whiskey speaking through his breath. Pulls the truth out of my breath, steady in its molten sway. Let the morning find what's left of me when all my fears decay. If salvation wants a story that the daylight never gets, let it hear the quiet truth I gave when whiskey stirred my breast. He left his heart where the whiskey went warm, somewhere quiet in the shadows where regret begins to form. My voice shakes like broken timber when the wind decides to stir, and the blues sits down beside me, whispering what once was heard. The bartender reads my posture like he's read it all before. Seeing tremors in my silence spilling soft across the floor. If forgiveness waits in warm where all my better days were torn, it will find the heart I buried where the whiskey once felt warm. He left his heart where the whiskey went warm, deep and slow. Every swallow brought a memory only darkness seemed to know. If tomorrow gives me breath beyond the storms I can't reform, let it meet the fragile truth where my whiskey once stayed warm. The slide guitar cries gentle like a ghost that learned to feel, tracing lines across the outline of a wound I couldn't heal. The bass rolls thick and heavy like remorse that won't let go, while the drum beat taps the rhythm of the ache I never show. Her touch still burns beneath me like a coal that won't turn black, and I swear I feel the warmth of her each time the night looks back. If the dawn can see the ember I've been too ashamed to share, it'll know I left my heartbeat in the warmth she placed it there. He left his heart where the whiskey went warm, quiet burn. Every tremor pulls me closer to the truths I can't unlearn. If redemption meets me kindly through the ashes of her form, let it thaw the parts still shivering where the whiskey once felt warm. Lost in time, let the morning find the pulse of what was broken but still mine. If salvation sees me searching for the man I can't transform, let it light the fading warmth where my heart was once kept warm. Leaves his sins in an unfinished prayer every time the night gets cold. Says he's tired of running circles around the lies he's never told. My voice drops heavy through the darkness like a hymn that lost its grace, and the blues folds in beside me like a hand against my face. The bartender lights a candle like he's warding off a curse, seeing faith and broken promises get tangled in my verse. If forgiveness hears me mumble through the words I wouldn't dare, it'll meet the man still trembling with an unfinished ragged prayer. He leaves his sins in an unfinished prayer, somewhere quiet, somewhere warm. Every whisper half a blessing, every breath a bit forlorn. If tomorrow finds me kneeling where my heart feels stripped and bare, let it raise the broken meaning of that half-forgotten prayer. The slide guitar spills sorrow like a saint who's lost his hymn, tracing battlefields and shadows where my shame still clings to limb. And the bass rolls deep and distant like a church bell buried low, while the night keeps count of secrets that I never meant to show. The ghost of who I meant to be sits folded in the pew, holding mercy like a promise I could never follow through. If the dawn could read the silence that my breathing won't declare, it would find the fractured man who left his sins in whispered prayer. He leaves his sins in an unfinished prayer, carved in doubts I can't sustain. Every syllable a tremor pressed through blood and dust and pain. If redemption hears the echo of the truths I couldn't bear, let it finish what I started in that half-completed prayer. Prayer and hopes the light forgives. Let the morning warm the corners where the wounded memory lives. If salvation meets me fragile in the shadows I still wear, let it finish what I whispered when I left it to the prayer.
Hearts don't heal in bars like this, but we drink like they might try, catching glimpses of redemption in a glass that runs us dry. My voice burns like old tobacco in a wind that won't sit still, and the blues keeps dragging memories through the cracks I meant to fill. The bartender tilts his head like he's heard this pain before, watching history repeat itself across the wooden floor. If forgiveness drifts through lamplight in a way I can't dismiss, it'll know that hearts keep breaking still in bars that feel like this. Hearts don't heal in bars like this, though the whiskey says they will. Every sip's a small surrender to a past that lingers still. If tomorrow finds me softer than the man the night insists, let it take me someplace gentler than the bar where heart breaks. Slide guitar cries quiet like it's begging for a name, and the bass hums tired pulses that confess I'm still the same. My hands shake around the bottle like they're holding something true, though the truth keeps spilling sideways when the night comes into view. Her memory leans heavy like a coat too soaked to wear, and I drown inside the warmth of things she left still hanging there. If the dawn shines bright enough to lift me from the precipice, it might prove that hearts can heal outside of bars like nights like this. Hearts don't heal in bars like this, where the air is thick with ghosts, where the broken find their comfort in the drinks they trust the most. If redemption wants to guide me through the silence I dismiss, let it lead me past the doorway of a bar that mourns like this. But I'm trying anyway. Let the morning keep me steady where the night begins to fray. If salvation finds me sober in the light I can't resist, it'll take me from the shadows where my heart first came to miss. His footsteps sound like things he shouldn't say, walking heavy through the secrets that I tried to lock away. My voice rolls rough and brittle like a rope on rusted steel, and the blues leans close beside me just to ask me what I feel. The bartender scans my posture like he's waiting on a truth, seeing cracks beneath the surface where I buried shattered you.
witness hears me pacing where old words begin to fray. It'll read the quiet warnings in the steps I shouldn't say. His footsteps sound like things he shouldn't say. Hollow warm, every echo from the floorboards feels like sins I still adorn. If tomorrow comes a listening wind while my demons ricochet, let it hush the restless secrets held in things I shouldn't say. The slide guitar rings wounded like a rumor gone too far, drawing outlines of confessions that reveal just who we are. The bass hums deep and steady like a man resigned to fate, while the drums beat subtle rhythms echoing what I recreate. Her memory shows up quiet in the tremble of my gait, and I hear her ask in silence why I learned to love too late. If the dawn is hesitation in the steps I can't lay, it'll know the truths I whisper in the things I shouldn't say. His footsteps sound like things he shouldn't say, but they do. Every move a broken sentence, walking right in plainest view. If redemption meets me halfway as my shadows disobey, let it soften all the words that these old steps can't keep at bay. His footsteps sound like things he shouldn't say. God, I know, let the morning clear the weight behind the things I let out slow. If salvation wants to hear me in a cleaner, lighter way, let it free the truth still traveling in the steps I shouldn't say.
The bar light draws the shape of my regret across the floor, like a shadow meant to follow every choice I made before. My voice leans rough and weathered like a rope worn down by time, and the blue sits in my chest like it's been living off my rhyme. The bartender shifts sideways like he knows where I've been hid, seeing storms inside my pupils that no dawn has ever ridded. If forgiveness reads the outline of the man I can't forget, it will trace the glow that barlight shapes around my silhouette. The barlight draws the shape of my regret, soft and slow. Every tremor on the floorboard shows a truth I never show. If tomorrow finds me braver than the sins I still beget, let him meet the man reflected where the bar light finds regret. The slide guitar curls mournful like a memory in pain, mapping corners of my conscience I've no courage to contain. The bass moves slow and steady like a heartbeat grown too tired, while the drum beat taps the echoes of the guilt I long acquired. Her voice the shape behind me like a warmth I can't undo, and I feel it paint the shadows in a dim but tender hue. If the dawn saw every fracture that the night begins to set, it would watch the bar light sculpt the form my sorrow won't forget. The bar light draws the shape of my regret in amber waves. Every glimmer holds a history that my memory still saves. If redemption shines at sunrise on the man the night began, let it soften all the edges where the bar light casts regret. The shape of my regret, patient, quiet, barely warm. Let the morning lift the shadows where my choices lost their form. If salvation reads the silhouette my heart can't quite reset, let it find the man who trembled in the bar light of regret.
Blues learned my footsteps first, long before I learned to stay. Walking circles round the sorrows I kept pushing day to day. My voice is rough and jagged, like a stone it's worn too thin, and the night leans in to listen like it knows where I've been. The bartender lifts an eyebrow like he's read this book before, seeing every silent chapter spilling through the barroom floor. If forgiveness meets me wandering where the shadows reimburse, it'll sign his name beside the blues that learned my footsteps first. footstep first, following close behind my feet. Every step a quiet echo of the man I couldn't translate. If tomorrow finds me wiser than the pain I still rehearse, let it walk where I've been leaving all the trails the blues knew first. The slide guitar warms slowly like it's rising from a grave, tracing maps across my rib cage of the truths I couldn't say. The bass ticks slow and heavy like a heart that won't collapse, while the drums cut through the quiet with the rhythm I relapse. Her memory drifts behind me like the wind across a stone, and I hear it whisper gently that I never walked alone. If the dawn sees where my weakness made the world around disperse, it'll know my shadow followed where the blues learned me first. The blues learned my footsteps first, trudging through the dust I made. Every line along the highway shows the debts I never paid. If redemption reads the miles where my regrets begin to burst, let it walk the road still haunted by the blues that learned me first. The blues learned my footsteps first, held it walk before I could. Let the morning clear the distance where my stories turn to wood. If salvation meets me steady on a road still unrehearsed, let it follow where the blues learn my footsteps first.
Harry Carrier goes in the cuff of my sleeve, hanging quiet like a promise that I never let to leave. My voice falls low and weathered like a prayer that lost its flame, and the blues sits down beside me whispering pieces of her name. Bartender ain't asking, he can read it in my stare, seeing heartache dripping heavy from the breath I can't repair. If forgiveness wants to find me where old wounds and shadows weave, it'll meet the ghost I'm holding in the cuff around my sleeve. I carry a ghost over my sleeve, soft
and cold. Every tremor in my posture shows a story's gone untold. If tomorrow finds me lighter than the sorrow I can see, let it free the faded weight of what I keep inside my sleeve. The slide guitar moans lonely, like it's calling down the hall, tracing outlines I've abandoned but can't bury after all. The bass hums deep beneath me like a pulse that's gone astray, while the night reveals the fractures of the man I've learned to play. Her memory clings stubborn in the fabric near my wrist, like a ghost that likes a silence where my weakness still exists. If the dawn shines bright enough to cut the lies I still believe, it'll see the phantom resting in the cuff around my sleeve. I carry her ghost in the cuff of my sleeve. Quiet ache, every motion shakes a whisper from a heart too prone to break. If redemption meets me gently where my fears and truths cleave, let it lift the haunting presence living deep inside my sleep. Sorrow I've been too afraid to clear. If salvation hears my whisper as I beg for some reprieve, let it free the ghost I'm clutching in the cuff around my sleeve. If these boots could drag my past away, I'd walk until they tore, leaving every broken memory in the dust behind the door. My voice grinds through the gravel like it's tired of holding back, and the blues stays on my heels like it's still tracking every track. The bartender lifts an eyebrow like he knows the road I'm on, seeing miles of guilty footsteps I've been wearing since she's gone. If forgiveness comes walking at the end of night and day, it might find these boots still trying to drag my heavy past away. If these boots could drag my past away, I'd be lighter than my sins. Every mile a quiet promise of a place where peace begins. If tomorrow sees me moving where old wounds can't make me stay, let it to carry me away. The slide guitar cuts low like it's been sharpened on regret, and the bass hums weary praises for the man I ain't met yet. The drums march slow and steady like a truth I can't outrun, while the night leans on my shoulders like a war I haven't won. Her echo keeps on trailing in the dirt behind my stride, and I feel it grip my conscience like a chain I can't untie. If the dawn could read the footprints that my better self conveyed, it would see the weight I'm dragging with these boots in worn out ways. If these boots could drag my past away, they would tear before they quit. Every soul would hold a secret that the midnight can't admit. If redemption waits in silence on the outskirts of decay, let it meet these boots still moving through the lessons of the day. Drag my past away, they would lead me back to life. Let the morning ease the burden that I shoulder through the night. If salvation guides my footsteps on a clearer kind of way, let it walk beside these boots as they drag my past away. My name sounds different when the night says it, rolling softer through the shadows like a truth I can't admit. My voice leans low and ragged like a man who's been undone, and the blues sits down beside me, whispering I've begun. The bartender tilts his head like he's considering my fate, seeing sorrow in my posture that I tried to amputate. If forgiveness knows a silence where my secrets still transmit, it'll hear the way my name shake when the night decides to say it. My name sounds different when the night says it, old and frail. Every echo paints a story written low on some lost trail. If tomorrow hears me clearer than the shadows I submit, let it teach me how to answer when the night still dares to say it. The slide guitar draws circles round the memories I evade, marking corners of the heartache I've been too afraid to trade. The bass rolls warm beneath me like a truth that won't let go, while the drums keep faint reminder of the scars I never showed. Her whisper shakes my conscience like a letter left unread, and I swear I hear it trembling through the corners of my head. If the dawn can strip the darkness from the name I counterfeit, it'll find the man still breaking when the night remembers it. My name sounds different when the night says it, bare and true. Every syllable a story of the things I never do. If redemption speaks it softly like a blessing kept unlit, let it teach me how to breathe when the night knows how to say it. Let the morning teach me reasons for the man I failed to know. If salvation reads the letters left in shadows infinite, let it call my name with mercy the way the night still dares to say.
still shake where her love used to be, quivering like a matchstick caught in winter's memory. My voice cracks in the lamplight like a truth I can't disguise, and the blues hangs on my shoulders like a weight that never dies. The bartender watches closely like he's counting every tremor, seeing heartbreak-ridden motions I can't hold steady or slimmer. If forgiveness takes attention from the ghosts that cling to me, it'll calm the shaking echoes where love used to be. My hands still shake where love used to be, trembling slow. Every shiver just a story that my heart won't let me know. If tomorrow grants me steadiness enough to set me free, let it smooth the restless motion where love once anchored me. The slide guitar cries quite like a breath caught in the throat, tracing sorrow like a map across a long forgotten note. The bass rumbles like a heartbeat that won't settle into place, while the night reveals a fear that time refused to fully erase. Her memory drapes my fingers with a sweetness bittersweet, and I feel it haunt the spaces where her touch and mine would meet. If the dawn shines all its mercy on the ache I can't unsee, it'll still these tired hands and shake where her love used to be. My hands still shake where her love used to be, soft and warm. Every tremor reads a chapter I've been too undone to mourn. If redemption steadies sorrow when a man too afraid to flee, let it guide the pulse that's trembling where love once lived in me. My hands still shake where her love used to be. Yeah, I know. Let the morning warm the coldness I've forgotten how to show. If salvation meets me gently where the night refused to see, let it steady these old hands where her love used to be.
where the dust remembers every step I lied about. There's a shadow in the doorway where my hopes all flicker out. My voice drags low and fearsome, like a wind that lost its breath. And the blue stands right behind me, like an oath I signed to death. The bartender watches quiet, like he knows what I've denied. Seeing roads I ran from trembling in the corner of my stride. If forgiveness hears the dust beneath the boots that moved in doubt, it'll taste the lies I buried here in the steps I lied about, where the dust relied about, where the dust remembers every step I lied about, stained slow. Every grain a piece of truth I thought no man would ever know. If tomorrow brings a daylight I can stand inside without, let it cleanse the heart and dust of all the steps I lied about. Slide guitar bends heavy, like it's mourning for my trail, drawing shapes of old misgivings in a past I can't unveil. The bass hums deep and broken, like the promise of a sin, while the drums tap out the heartbeat the place I can't begin. Her memory blows quiet through the desert of my chest, like a phantom caught in sandstorms where my secrets came to rest. If the dawn sees how the ground keeps calling truths I can't reroute, it'll read the dust still whispering every step I lied about, where the dust will light about, where the dust remembers every step I lied about, bare and raw. Every footprint holds a secret every night refused to thaw. If redemption lifts the weight of all the sins I dared to flout, let it soften desert memories of the steps I lied about. Dust remembers every step I lied about at last. Let the morning break the silence I've been dragging from my past. If salvation reads my footsteps where old lies still twist and shout, let it cleanse the final path every step I lied about.
Truth sits heavy at the bottom of my glass, waiting patient for the courage that I never seem to pass. My voice scrapes through the lamplight like a man who's halfway torn, and the blues keeps dragging memories I've carried since I'm born. Bartender pours quiet like he knows I ain't okay, seeing storms beneath my eyelids I've been chasing day to day. If forgiveness swims in whiskey where old shadows come to mass, it'll find the weight I'm drowning in the bottom of my glass. Bottom of my glass, cold and still. Every swallow makes me honest in a way I never will. If tomorrow lights the corners where my darker thoughts trespass, let it live the truth that's settled in the bottom of my glass. Slide guitar cuts mournful like it's reading off my sins, tracing cracks along the echoes where my voice once tried to begin. The bass hums like confession, deep and solemn in its tone, while the night holds up a mirror to the man I've outgrown. Her memories like a fingerprint, smudge faint on every sip, and I taste her in the bitterness that curls against my lip. If the dawn reveals the honesty I fought so hard to mask, it'll rise from where I hid it at the bottom of my glass. The truth sits heavy at the bottom of my glass, thick and slow. Every drop a revelation I was never meant to know. Every redemption finds me trembling where my broken thoughts are meshed. Let it free the part still sinking in the bottom of my glass. The truth sits heavy at the bottom of my glass, calling out. Let the morning dry the secrets I've been drowning in with doubt. If salvation hears me whisper what I never meant to cast, let it lift the truth that's buried at the bottom of my glass. The silence pours is louder than the bottle tonight. Filling corners of the barroom
where my thoughts still try to fight. My voice drifts low and broken, like a prayer that's lost its shine. And the blues sits down beside me, saying, "Hell, this hurt is mine." The bartender stays wordless, but he knows the shape I make, sees the weight across my shoulders from the ones I let forsake. If forgiveness finds me trembling where the darkness steals my sight, it'll hear the silence pouring louder than the drink tonight. The silence pours louder than the bottle of night, cold and clear. Every echo in my chest reveals the truth I won't let near. If tomorrow lights the shadows where these broken thoughts ignite, let it tame the roaring quiet that outpours my drink tonight. The slide guitar moans lazy, like a ghost who's staying late, tracing scars down my reflection where regret learns how to wait. The bass hums deep and patient, like a storm that's lost its flame, while the drums knock gentle patterns on the letters of her name. Her memory hangs heavy, like a coat I can't unthread, and I feel its quiet tremors in the things I should have said. If the dawn lifts up the silence I've been drowning out of spite, it'll hear the truth I swallowed louder than the drink tonight. The silence pours louder than the bottle of night, sharp and bare. Every tremor in my breathing shows the sins I still compare. If redemption hears my whisper through the dark I can't rewrite, let it hush the haunting quiet that outpours my glass tonight. The bottle remembers what I tried to forget, keeping stories in the shadows where my guilt and I first met. My voice grinds low and withered like a door that lost its frame, and the blues sits at my elbow, whispering every broken name. The bartender pours slowly like he's dealing with the dead. Seeing ghosts behind my breathing, I can't bury in my head. If forgiveness swims in memories that the whiskey can't reset, it'll rise from all the secrets that I meant to just forget. The bottle remembers what I tried to forget. Down below, every swallow drags a moment, got no courage left to show. If tomorrow cuts the tether of the things I still regret, let it drain the bitter truth that every bottle won't forget. The slide guitar moans tired like it's seen my kind before, tracing stories carved in silence where the liquor meets the floor. The bass hums low and mournful like a man who lost his creed, while the night collects my failures like a book I've never read. Her voice comes back and flickers like a film that's torn apart, and I feel it sting my conscience like a nail inside the heart. If the dawn restores the pieces that the darkness can't beget, it'll mend the man left drowning in the things he can't forget. The bottle remembers what I tried to forget, faded true. Every drop of a sharp reminder of a sorrow born in you. If redemption finds me trembling in the places pain is set, let it flush the final memory that the bottle won't forget. The bottle remembers what I tried to forget, but not for long. Let the morning dry the vision where the night kept pulling strong. If salvation hears me whisper all the things I still regret, let it teach the bottle mercy for the truths I must forget. Blues kept my seat warm while I fell apart.
holding steady in the silence where I left my fragile heart. My voice just low and quiet, like a hymn too tired to rise. And the night leans in around me, reading truth between my lies. Bartender gives a nod, like he's been there once himself, seeing pieces of my temper sitting lonely on the shelf. If forgiveness finds me lost where all my broken thoughts depart, it'll take the seed the blues kept warm while I fell clean apart. The blues kept my seat warm while I fell apart, soft and slow. Every shiver in my hands revealed the damage I don't show. If tomorrow finds me gathering all the wreckage in my heart, let it fill the quiet spaces where the blues saw me depart. The slide guitar sighs heavy, like it's mourning for my bones, tracing lines of old mistakes I've learned to carry on my own. The bass hums like a preacher who ain't certain how to pray, while the drums tap out a rhythm of the years I've thrown away. Her voice still curls around me like a shadow near my spine, and I feel it shake my conscience like I can echo out of time. If the dawn reveals the fractures left inside my weathered heart, it'll see the seat still holding where I first began to part. The blues kept my seat warm while I fell apart, bent with weight. Every memory sat beside me, just a whisper I was late. If redemption sits beside me as I gather who I am, let it warm the place the blues kept while I broke beneath my span. Kept my seat warm while I fell apart that night. Let the morning stitch my edges in the comfort of its light. If salvation hears me speaking through the sorrow in my arms, let it take the seat I left when I came undone apart.
My shadow drinks more than I do, sitting heavy at my side, soaking up the quiet poison I've been too damn tired to hide. My voice drags through the room like it's been living in a storm, and the blues hangs on my shoulders like a cold that won't get warm. The bartender keeps his distance, but he's read my face before. Sees the miles I keep on drowning in the rings along the floor. If forgiveness pours me sober with a strength I never knew, it might say my shadow's drinking all the things I won't get through. My shadow drinks more than I do, taking sips of every sin. Every drop I try to swallow ends up spilling out through him. If tomorrow finds me clearer than the man the night once drew, let it pry the glass away from what my shadow likes to brew. The slide guitar cries low like it's confessing to the past, tracing lines along the stories that I knew would never last. The bass rolls thick and muddy like a fog I can't ignore, and the drum beat shakes my conscience like it's knocking at the door. Her voice flickers in my memory like a flame too weak to burn, and I feel the cold reminder of the love I can't return. If the dawn sees my reflection as a man who finally grew, it'll see the part still drinking through the shadow I outgrew. My shadow drinks more than I do, raising ghosts I can't deny. Every swallow paints the edges of the things I let run dry. If redemption stops the pouring where my darker halves accrue, let it sober up the echo living deep inside my brew. My shadow drinks more than I do, but tonight I stand my ground. Let the morning shake the demons that the whiskey never drown. If salvation hears me speaking like a man who's pulling through, let it pour a clearer future than the glass my shadow knew.
My regret has learned to walk without me, wandering through the midnight like it's hunting where I'll be. My voice cracks through the shadows like a boot on broken stone, and the blues walks right beside it like it's claiming me. song. The bartender lifts his chin like he's tracking something near. Seeing ghosts, they wear my footsteps every time I disappear. If forgiveness finds me following what guilt taught me to see, it'll meet the silhouette of regret that walks from me. My regret has learned to walk without me, cold and free, leaving traces through the dust of who I used to be. If tomorrow shines its mercy on the path I failed to flee, let it break the stride regret keeps walking out of me. The slide guitar groans distant, a memory gone wrong, drawing shadows of a story I rewrote for far too long. The bass hums low and weathered, like a man who knows my shame, while the drums tap rhythmic warnings that I'm running from my name. Her ghost still walks behind me, like it's learning where I hide, and I feel it chase my conscience with a sorrow multiplied. If the dawn sees how my guilt grew legs and I set free, it'll know regret's been walking faster than the rest of me. My regret has learned to walk without me, swift and sly. Every step up, I'm a burden my shoulders left apart. If tomorrow shines its mercy on a path I fail to flee, let it break the stride regret keeps walking at me. The road wears my regret like a second shadow, following every step I take with truths too dark to swallow. My voice rubs rough like gravel in a storm that never quits, and the blues keeps close behind me, whispering what never fits. The bartender nods toward me like he knows I'm halfway gone, seeing every mile of heartbreak carved beneath my travel worn. If forgiveness meets me limping where the dust begins to gather, it'll track the shadow trailing me through miles of broken rather. The road wears my regret like a second shadow clinging tight. Every footprint holds a memory that comes back to me at night. If tomorrow lifts my burdens from the path that I forgo, let it peel away the shadow only loss has come to know. white guitar cries distant like a wind across the sand, drawing marks along the highway that my boots can't understand. The bass hums slow and steady like a train too tired to sway, while the drums beat out the rhythm of the things I can't convey. Her voice echoes through the asphalt like a promise left undone, and I feel its quiet thunder burning hotter than the sun. If the dawn sees how my shadow learned to travel blow by blow, it'll know the road still wears the weight of what I can't let go. The road wears my regret like a second shadow, bruised and worn. Every fragment of my failure scattered cold across the morn. If redemption finds me wandering where my sorrows overflow, let it chase away the shadow only time has come to know. Like a second shadow down the line, let the morning strip the burdens from these battered steps of mine. If salvation reads my footprints where old sorrow loves to show, let it walk beside a man who leaves behind what he outgrew.
The wind still carries the sound of her goodbye, whispering through the alleys like a truth I can't deny. My voice rides on the tremble like a leaf that lost its tree, and the blues keeps holding tight to all the things she stole from me. The bartender wipes the counter like he's polishing the past, knowing damn well that my heartache wasn't built to ever last. If forgiveness hides in breezes where old heartbreak learns to fly, it'll drift with every echo of the wind that said goodbye. The wind still carries the sound of her goodbye, soft and thin. Every whisper cuts me deeper than the bottle ever did. If tomorrow finds me stronger than the pain I can't outfly, let it silence all the haunting in the wind that waved goodbye.
guitar moves distant like a memory on the run, tracing shadows of a promise I mistook for setting sun. The bass hums deep and hollow like a man without a home, while the night reveals the footsteps of the days I walk alone. Her voice comes back in flashes, just a shiver in the air, and I swallow all the emptiness of things I didn't dare. If the dawn can cut the tether from the ghost that lingers nigh, it'll calm the restless murmurs in the wind that said goodbye. The wind still carries the sound of her goodbye through my chest. Every sigh a quiet tremor of the love I once possessed. If redemption hears me whisper for the strength I can't supply, let it still the distant shiver of the wind that won't comply. Still carries the sound of her goodbye through the night. Let the dawn reclaim the silence where her memory once took flight. If salvation meets me steady in a world she can't defy, let it hush the final echo of the wind that said goodbye.
Whiskey knows my real name. Hell, it says it more than I do. Calls me back to all the nights I swore that I was pushing through. My voice drags through the lamplight like a shovel in the dirt, and the blues sits at my shoulder like it's cataloging her. The bartender keeps staring like he's seen this scene before, where a man becomes confession in the cracks along the floor. If forgiveness wants to meet me in the glow of amber flame, it'll find the truth spelled easy where the whiskey says my name. The whiskey knows my real name, carved in half the drinks I've poured. Every swallow like a witness to the battles I ignored. If tomorrow wants to save me from the sorrow I became, it will need to face the letters that the whiskey learned by name. The slide guitar moans low like it's ashamed of being heard.
tracing bruises on my conscience. I have never really stirred. The bass hums deep and weathered, like a train that lost its track, while the night hangs off my shoulders like a truth I can't give back. A ghost of who I used to be sits quiet in my glass, and I watch him shimmer faintly like a man built not to last. If the dawn can hear me calling through the sins I can't reclaim, it might teach me to remember more than whiskey knows by name. The whiskey knows my real name, saying it in every breath. Every vow a small reminder of the deals I made with death. If redemption's got the patience to forgive my tattered frame, let it take the weight off shoulders where the whiskey carved my name. Whiskey knows my real name, and it speaks it like a friend. Let the morning find me honest at the places I pretend. If salvation knows I'm trying, let it show me who I am. 'Cause the whiskey learned my real name long before the world gave a damn. The bar stool breaks beneath the weight of my name, cracking gentle like the silence that I shoulder with my shame. My voice grinds through the shadows like a man who's seen too much, and the blues leans in beside me like an old unwelcome crutch. The bartender shakes his head like he's seen the scene before, watching all my hidden history spill quiet on the floor. If forgiveness hears me mumbling through the guilt I can't reclaim, it'll feel the bar stool trembling beneath the weight upon my name. The bar stool breaks beneath the weight of my name, long and low. Every crack a tie reminder of the truths I never show. If tomorrow lifts the burden of the past I can't proclaim, let it raise a man who's lighter than the letters in his name. The slide guitaring somber like it's moaning for my spine, tracing fault lines caught by choices I pretend were never mine. Bass hums like a warning of a storm I've come to brace, while the drum beat taps a rhythm of the lies I can't erase. A memory sits opposite, staring quiet through the glow, and I feel a distant judgment in the truths I never show. If the dawn lifts up the failures that I'm too bruised to disclaim, it'll mend the cracks I carved into the bar stool with my name. Bar stool breaks beneath the weight of my name, split with time.
Every fracture built from moments that once felt too small to climb. If redemption steadies corners where the past has left its claim, let it ease the load I've burdened on the letters of my name. Stool breaks beneath the weight of my name, but I remain. Let the morning rise above me, wash the dust from all my pain. If salvation hears me whisper that I'm trying to reclaim, let it lift the man still trembling beneath the weight upon my name.
The night pressed his weight on my shoulder, like it always seemed to do. Dragging every worn-out memory from the cracks I fell into. My voice rolls low and broken, like an engine begging twice, and the blues sits down beside me, like a man who knows the price. I see shadows in the bottles, hear confessions in the glass, and the bartender just listens like he's watching decades pass. If forgiveness wants to meet me in the dark where truth gets older, it'll find the aches I'm carrying where the night stays on my shoulder. The night pressed his weight on my shoulder, heavy, quiet, full of pain. Every hour feel like thunder, rolling deep inside my veins. If tomorrow lifts a burden that no daylight's ever told her, let it ease the long-made tremors where the night leans on my shoulders. The slide guitar bends gently, like it's morning in my chest. Tracing scars I never catalog, but never lay to rest. The bass thumps like a heartbeat that's forgotten how to trust, while the drum beat keeps me honest in the spaces carved by dust. Her voice drips through the silence like a ghost I can't outrun, fading slow like every promise, buried deeper than the sun. If the dawn could see the pressure that the dark begins to smolder,
It might lift the nights I'm carrying from the bones beneath my shoulder. The night pressed his weight on my shoulder, shaking quiet through the room. Every breath a rough reminder of the calm I can't resume. If redemption pulls me forward from the places I grow colder, let it lighten what the darkness press so deep upon my shoulders. Its weight on my shoulders, but I'm learning how to stand. Let the morning bring me mercy while I find a steadier hand. If salvation reads the damage in the bruises I still hold on, let it free the tired man beneath the weight The road learned my footsteps by heart long before I learned my own. Carried miles of worn-out memories in the gravel and the stone. My voice cracks like old leather, stretched too far against the years, and the blues walks right beside me like a friend who knows my fears. Neon signs flicker their warning across the edges of my grin, while the bartender wipes a glass like he's heard where I have been. If forgiveness waits for wanderers who drift too far apart, it will find the man still trembling where the road memorized his heart. The road learned my footsteps by heart, every rise and fall, every stumble through the silence, every ghost that heard me call. If tomorrow sees me standing where my will and fate depart, let it read the tracks behind me where the road recall my heart. The slide guitar growls low like it's riding shotgun with my soul, tracing stories down the blacktop that my past can't keep control. The bass thumps slow and heavy like a heartbeat on the run, while the night hangs like a promise that the daylight never won. Her voice lingers like a memory in the dust along the line, and I chase it through the distance like a map that once was mine. If the dawn could see the truth beneath the boots I still impart, it would know the road keeps whispering every weight inside my heart. The road learned my footsteps by heart, holding secrets in its cracks. Every mile a quiet echo carved in ridges on his back. If redemption walks beside me where my shadows fall apart, let it guide the man
and it walks before I can. Let the morning find me softened like a more forgiving man. If salvation waits at sunrise, where the miles and mercy start, let it read the path I'm